welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
Podcast.
Yeah, we're here.
Ooh, podcasting. Soothing podcasting.
So to let people...
He's just like, you know what, fuck that. I'm ignoring her. I don't know what's happening.
Well, I was going to say, this particular podcast is as fresh as it gets.
Oh, man, is it?
Because, we're running around with this whole life thing.
Ugh.
And we're trying to take care of some stuff, so it's been pretty hectic.
We've been busy.
And so this is like, usually we release on Thursdays. But here we are taping on a Wednesday evening.
I know, look at that. This is like less than 24 hours between taping and releasing.
Yeah, like it's
not typically
fresh.
what we do.
No, it's not typically
but we
ideal.
have been really busy, guys. Plus, then I got a cold.
Yeah.
Which, that's no fun. So, I might still sound a little weird. I think I sound a lot better.
No, you do.
Okay, good. But yeah, I was sounding like I had many frogs in my throat.
Yeah.
It was like a whole freaking pond full of them.
Pond wife?
Yeah, I was a frog pond, and they were singing horrible, horrible, horrible choruses every time I spoke. So,
real quick, I guess we just talk about a few items here since we are taping this so late, but just quick things that came to my head.
Ruby Rose cast as Batwoman?
Yeah, I was trying to,
That looks cool.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've been so out of whatever the fuck's going on with the TV shows that I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think I've missed like 2 seasons at this point.
Well, you know what's funny is when they say that I know that these shows get renewed, but when you tell me that they're still on, I'm still surprised.
Right.
Because I'm like, we're still doing, like Black Lightning's still a thing.
Is Arrow still a thing?
Arrow's definitely still a thing.
Why?
I don't know. How much? I mean, it's very popular. And speaking of which, Stephen Amell is going to be wrestling in a few weeks again. Yeah. People often forget that he did the wrestling.
Yes. Didn't he come out at WrestleMania?
No, he was
or SummerSlam.
It was SummerSlam. It was like him and Neville against Wade Barrett and I want to say it was Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes.
So all of those people are no longer with the E.
Neville technically still is.
I thought he got really pissed because like Vince kept trying to make a Mighty Mouse or whatever.
Well, that was a long time ago.
I know, but didn't he just get mad because they kept like not doing anything with him because he was too small?
They're just booking him shitty, and he was pissed off, and just not happy with his position on the roster, and he tried to leave, and basically WWE's like no, because he's under this contract, so they just basically are just paying him to sit home.
Well, he's getting paid.
And if he decides to come back, he decides to come back. But we'll that remains to be seen. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, although Wade Barrett hasn't wrestled there in a couple of years.
No,
Cody Rhodes definitely hasn't.
Yeah,
and I guess because Cody Rhodes apparently guest starred on Arrow.
Oh, did he?
He played someone who I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Again, we're many seasons behind.
Yeah,
I think the last season we watched was 4.
Maybe 4. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, no, we haven't watched that in a while. So I definitely don't remember Cody Rhodes doing anything on there.
No.
But Cody Rhodes, since him and Cody Rhodes, they're friends or whatever from the Arrow thing, like Stephen Amell's such a big wrestling fan, he is going to wrestle at this All-In event that they're doing in Chicago. And it's, he's wrestling, I think, Christopher Daniels, who's actually a really cool dude. He's a big comic book guy and a fantastic wrestler to boot. Yeah, I mean, like Legends of Tomorrow is still on.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned Black Lightning, but
Flash.
Flash is still on. Like all these shows still exist, and now they're like, all right, now time for Batwoman.
And I'm like, awesome, but at the same time, I'm like, am I actually going to go watch it? Probably not.
Probably.
Which sucks because I'm like, oh, this is great casting. I'm for it. This is awesome.
There's going to be a point where we get back. Oh, shit, I forgot Supergirl. That's still a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
You know? I mean, there's a lot of DC...
Did they put it on Netflix, the newest season?
Probably.
Oh.
It's probably a lot of those things are updated. We could probably catch up on a lot of it.
Meh.
We just haven't gotten around to it. You know, if not, we'll buy that DC service at some point. Because, you know, I mean, but that's the thing, too. It's another one of those things where it's like, if I pay for it, am I actually going to watch it?
That's the thing. I'm like, are we going to do it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much it is and what they're offering.
There was I didn't watch it, but there was, because we're so behind on the cartoons, too, and all the movies. Like the animated movies. Mm-hmm. I think there's a Hellblazer cartoon.
That might be cool.
Yeah, I think I saw a commercial, a thing for that. I didn't watch it.
But is it going to be like one of those? What did we watch before? Was it Justice League Dark?
Justice League Dark. I think that was the last one we watched.
Maybe it wasn't that one. It was a Marvel one.
Well, a cartoon?
Yeah, that we watched, and it was so like actually dark, like visually,
yeah.
You could barely see what was happening. I think Justice League Dark was a little bit better.
No, I'm blinking. It's the Hulk and it's like a shit. What was it called? It was like Hulk and like the Legion of Monsters.
Yes, there were like a bunch of fucking monsters in it, and it was just it really just looked like they had just made it as dark, put it like a really dark filter on it because they didn't want to showcase how bad the animation was.
Probably,
and it was almost impossible to see.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
That was really shitty.
It sucks too because that was definitely right up my alley. I think it was kind of like more of like a Defenders. You know, I think Doctor Strange was there.
I think he was too.
I think it was like Hulk and Doctor Strange fart around with people.
Pretty much.
So but I found that interesting. That news interesting though. Yesterday with was it Ruby Rose? Actually, it's fantastic casting because she's got the look. Mm-hmm. You know, and in terms of like what you can do with hair and makeup and stuff like that. I mean, but she just has that like, you know, she's very beautiful, but also
like somewhat androgynous and like,
and she's also like, she could do action because she was in John Wick 2.
She was.
You know, I'd never watched her on Orange Is the New Black.
Oh yeah, I did. She was good.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was this actually broke today about there being new award in the Academy that they're going to present probably on the main show because the show needs to be longer.
Of course it does.
It's I'm blanking exactly on the title, but it's basically Outstanding Popular Film Award.
Yeah, I think it's because they don't want to actually like put, I don't know, like a Black Panther in
That's
the
what everybody's saying, yeah.
With quote serious films.
Yeah, because
they got pissed off that Get Out won anything last year and they're like, it's too popular.
Yeah, it's like it's popular within a certain
and it was a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because just saying genre movies like that don't win.
Right.
You know, it's always...
And that's probably why.
It's, you know, it's not about the actual, you know, because with the Academy, it's, you know, it's about the, you know, the perception of these movies.
Serious movies.
Men in wigs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah, it's what basically any movie that wins Oscars, because now we can all have the popular film where we can just all fuck off with that.
Yeah.
Because now Infinity War can win, and it's like, you know, accepting the award is Thanos. And he just snaps his fingers, and Meryl Streep disappears, and everybody gets upset.
I'd be sad if Meryl Streep disappeared.
I know, but then also...
but like, other people might
Casey
disappear.
Affleck,
I was going to say, like, Casey Affleck might disappear, and we'd all cheer. All those of us left.
Jimmy Kimmel will be gone.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, sorry, Jimmy. You know, unfortunately, we have to keep Adam Carolla.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Why? Why can't he go?
I'm alive.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about random people like.
Is Leonardo DiCaprio still there?
No.
Oh no, he got.
Jonah Hill stays though.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Also,
he's in that weird. Have you seen that trailer for that new like Netflix thing called Maniac?
No, I saw that, but isn't it like? Is it a Netflix movie?
I don't know if it's a movie or a show. I think it's a Netflix thing.
Well, it's definitely.
But
Netflix,
it's like him.
Or it's definitely a.
It's definitely Netflix. I don't know if it's a show or a movie. I don't know. But it's like him and Emma Stone, and like all the trailers are just like them in a room just staring at each other, and you're like, is this supposed to make me want to watch this?
Something about I forgot what the.
It's like a mind thing. They're like, I'm sick, so they're gonna fuck with my mind.
What's with Netflix's?
I don't know. I think it's like an Eternal Sunshine-esque thing.
Whatever.
where they like go in and like fuck with your memories or something. But I don't know.
That movie. I mean, I don't hate that movie, but
no, I watched it once and I was like, that was enough.
I've seen it.
Watched it again. Yep.
Hey, I've seen this movie.
Yep. Saw it. Never need to see it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the preview, but I'm assuming it's something that everybody's gonna be like, man, you gotta be watching this, man.
It just looks weird. I'm just like, what is this even about? It's just like them sitting there while like twee music plays, and I'm like,
twee music,
twee, and I'm just like, you know what? Keep it. I just can't do. I don't have the bandwidth. It's enough. I'm trying to watch Sharper Objects, and I'm trying to watch Castle Rock, and I'm trying to do all these things.
Oh, Castle Rock.
Yeah, Stephen King's Castle Rock.
Yeah, Sharper Objects too. I would imagine you need a lot of bandwidth to handle.
Yeah,
that.
you know what? That's the thing. You have to be able to watch it, pay attention to it, and don't fall asleep during it.
Yeah.
I've fallen asleep during the second episode twice, but I fell asleep at the very end. So I've only missed like 3 minutes. But that's okay. I read the book.
Okay. So is Sharper Objects just like Amy Adams and Laura Dern just kind of like sitting in the kitchen, like looking at a drawer and being like, knives?
Yeah, that's actually all it is. It's just they pull things out of a bag and they go, that's sharp, and they put it in a pile. And then they pull the next one and go, nope, and put that one in a different pile. That's all it is for like 7 episodes.
It's just them being scared of garden shears.
Yes, that's all it is. It's all the various things that can be sharp, starring Amy Adams.
Or something's like, it's like just her trying to use like a paring knife to cut an apple and it's not working, and she's
dull.
like, and then she's got a sharper, and
she's like, I need a sharper object.
Sharper objects.
And she's like, gets the titular line.
Does it take place at a Williams and Sonoma?
Yes, it does. It does. But it's all about sharpening things. And it's just like, that like little island they have in the middle where they have like the register also where they cook. It's just 7 hours of Amy Adams standing behind that wearing an apron, just like sharpening things.
Also, actually, what the payoff is at the end is that she goes on that show, Knife for Your Life or whatever.
Oh, that's
Fight or Knife.
Is that a YouTube thing?
No, not that. That's
or is that like a
Steel.
travel? Oh.
No, there's a show.
Like a travel show?
No, it's a show hosted by Goldberg. Where you have to cut through things.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. Is it on Spike or something?
Oh, it's on like some asshole channel.
Yeah, it's on the asshole.
I think it's on like TLC, and it's like, and you have to cut through like a wall of meat. But that's the thing. She's training for this.
Oh, I see.
It's not about like like horrible childhoods and shit.
No, or dead children.
Dead children,
Which is actually what it's about.
It's definitely about about her training to be on that show with Bill Goldberg.
She just really wants to cut through a wall of meat, guys.
Actually, I'd watch that.
I would watch Amy Adams trying to cut through a wall of meat with a knife, like a sword. Like if she like trained for a long time and got like a Kill Bill sword and just started like chopping stuff. I'd watch that. That sounds fun.
I'm on board. HBO, how come we haven't done this yet?
Right?
See, we're full of ideas.
Always.
What else was I going to say? Yeah, I guess, though, like this award, though.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's just going to be another... Actually, that's why I want to bring it up, because I was proud of my joke today, where I put the headline on Twitter, and then I put, finally, and I just put a picture of the movie Ass from Idiocracy, and I was like, finally! And then I just put it was like a shot of like Luke Wilson looking at the billboard for Ass.
Yeah. I mean, we're so close to full-blown Idiocracy at this point.
What are you talking about full-blown? We are. This is it.
Well, no, the only thing we're missing is something like the movie Ass winning an Oscar.
You just wait.
That's what I mean. Here we are.
Look.
All that needs to happen, not even that, just this year. Something like Dirty Grandpa needs to not just win for like makeup or whatever. I mean, Suicide Squad won an Oscar.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide
Ass.
Suicide Ass.
Suicide Ass.
Is that just like an ass with like a Harley Quinn wig on it?
It's just the poster is just the movie Ass, but with everybody, with all the different little face gimmicks. Like you have like a scaly ass for Croc, and then you have an ass with like
all those tattoos for the Joker.
Yeah.
Harley wig.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of asses.
In like somehow a Deadshot one.
Yeah, it's a Deadshot one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They work really hard on it. DC's Ass.
I believe we've all seen DC's Ass, and it's literally every movie that they've done.
Every summer, DC's Ass comes out.
They show their ass all the time. Except Wonder Woman.
What's your brother's name?
And hopefully Shazam. And you know what? Hopefully Aquaman. I'm not going to rule out Aquaman yet. I haven't seen it.
Why'd you say their name? Yes. My mom's name is Ass too.
I do have to say that we saw Teen Titans Go, which we talked about last time, but there's a great joke in there about that.
Oh yeah.
That's
such an easy thing.
It is, but it's a really good one. So it's fun.
I hope when they do the video package for that award at the Academy Awards, that whole shit, that whole what'd you say their name, thing, like, is in there. It's like popular movie. What'd you say their name? Martha. Whatever.
You know what? I hope Henry Cavill's mustache wins an Oscar.
That's what you can nominate. I would just nominate his mustache, Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ass.
An ass.
and accepting the or say what so Mission Impossible can possibly win. Yeah. So accepting the award is Henry Cavill's mustache.
Oh, that'd be so great.
Like
apparently Mission Impossible is supposed to be very good.
We have yet to see it, but we're going to see it. Yeah. Somebody just brings it up on a little plate. Like it just has a little scooter.
I was just thinking it was just gigantic, so it has feet.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Which would be really upsetting for most everyone.
Actually, that'd be a great bit for, if what's his face? Jimmy Kimmel's going to host the next year. He can come out dressed as the mustache to accept that award and be really I'm the mustache, and just... Come on, why not?
I think what was really enjoyable was the other day, I was talking to my sister about Justice League or Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Justice League. And we mentioned the mustache, and she wasn't aware of the mustache. And she goes... And I'm like, no, they actually had to CGI it out because she's not like up on this stuff. And she goes, is that why his mouth looks so weird? And I was like, yes. And I was laughing and it was very funny.
That's what was so fucked up with like the first thing you see in Justice League is like
his weird face.
It's just like they just get it out of the way right away. They're just like, hey guys, get ready for this. You get ready for 2 hours of weird McLip. Of his fucking bristling flesh CGI, whatever.
It's going to be weird. They should have just let Superman have a mustache.
It's like putty Paul Walker face or whatever it is.
Yeah. Just let Superman have facial hair. That's the petition I'm starting.
So let's take our break. Mm-hmm. When we come back, we'll talk about our book for this week.
Hello, podcast listener. Russell Bragg here. Boy, do I have a story for you. What's that old saying?
I never thought it would happen to me.
No, not that one. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have believed it myself if I hadn't been there. It all started a couple of days ago. I was mowing the lawn when I noticed some people coming in my direction. As this group approached, I got a better look. I thought I was dreaming. To my disbelief and awe, coming towards me was Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rocky Balboa, who I always thought was just a fictional character, an older gentleman who I later found out was Rocky's valet and interpreter, Jeeves, and even more shocking, Gary Cooper. He was here through some sort of time-traveling adventure he didn't want to talk about. As they approached my position, I just kept saying, wow, over and over. They finally noticed me and stopped. Welcome to Clarksburg, was all I could think to say.
It's a pleasure to be in your town. Who are you?
My name is Russell Bragg. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see Rocky getting all excited. What'd he say? The master said, and acknowledges that you are indeed Russell Bragg, the host of the DC Comics Presents show. That's a podcast which the master enjoys immensely. Really?
Oh, yes. I love it. I love Superman. Did you know I was supposed to be in the 1978 Superman movie?
Arnie, you know that's not true. My favorite part of your program is the spotlights. That's how I believe I won my Academy Awards, by learning the ins and outs of not just my character, but the others in the script as well.
Oh, there he goes again about his Oscars. Arnold should have won several Academy Awards by now, if they weren't so jealous of him. My favorite part is when you brag about comics you have gotten.
How about you, Mr. Balboa? What'd he say? The master says he enjoys your comic spinner rack segments. He likes to hear about the books that were on the stands at the time of the issues you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I like that one, too. I love the whole thing.
Wow, that's great. I didn't really think many people were even aware of my podcast. It's nice to know it's getting out there, especially to celebrities like you.
Is there a nice place to eat around here? I'm starved.
There sure is, just down the street. What'd he say? The master inquires if you would like to dine with us. Really? Sure. Is it okay if I bring my wife?
Sure, the more the merrier. I can tell you all about the only scene I got to do in Superman the movie.
Not
again.
It was the helicopter scene with Lois Lane. You know the one. I was going to let go because, I was let go because of one little ad-lib. I knew the scene and what would happen to Lois, so I said, Lois, stay away from the chopper!
Wow. There I go again. What a great memory. Now, I wanted to tell you that story, but there's also another reason I wanted to present this promo. We're coming down to the final stretch of the DC Comics Presents show, so I'm hoping to conclude the podcast with a bang. I put out a call to other podcasters and they answered, so some future episodes will have special guest hosts taking over the program. It will still have the same old segments you love, like Russell's Comic Brag and Character Spotlights. I plan on doing one last Christmas episode, and also a special podcast devoted to the Crisis on Infinite Earths event when we get closer to those issues. I guess that's everything. I hope you'll join me for the next exciting episode of the DC Comics Presents show.
If you want to learn more about the DC Comics Presents show, head on over to the show's website at www.bragaboutcomics.com. You can subscribe to the show through iTunes, which is now called Apple Podcast, or Stitcher.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is DC Comics Presents.
Oh, shit.
Number 70 from June 1984 with Superman and the Metal Men, two of our favorite things.
Well, this is a very fascinating combination.
It is, yeah.
Because as we know, and we have discussed many times on the show, Superman is a robo-racist.
Oh, he definitely is, but these are the good ones.
I wonder, is this the beginning of his hatred of robots?
No, he's hated
it's
robots
definitely not. But
he's definitely hated robots for a long time.
Maybe he's trying to be tolerant. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
He's trying to figure it out. He's like, you know what? These robots could be cool, and he's like, here he is on the cover helping out the Metal Men fight off a bunch of fucking cockroach men.
Giant bugs.
Because that's basically it is. You got Superman doing an uppercut, and you got lead and platinum, and
they're doing stuff.
Gold and mercury and tin. I don't see. No, that's iron. I don't see bled. Wait, no, that's
bled.
Bled. Oh no, here he is. Here's iron. Oh wait, no, it's lead. I can't remember which one's which. Is this iron or lead? It's lead, right?
Which one am I looking at?
The blue one.
The blue one, I believe, is iron.
Okay, you're right.
Lead is the dark, bullet. The bullet, but it looks like he's being shot out of a cannon. But because of the positioning of Iron's head, he's being shot out of his ass.
He's being shot. He is being shot out of Iron's ass.
100% shot out of his ass.
He's even got his
and he
fist.
kind of looks like he's straining. Like,
oh, he is. Well,
he's like, I just went to Arby's. Like, he's just really having a hard day.
The Metal Men go to Arby's. You know what? That's a miniseries DC should do. DC should start. You know how they do like all like Scooby Doo, and they're doing like Space like all those like all these crossover things.
Yeah.
With all these things, start doing with restaurants.
Oh yeah.
And you can have Metal Men go to Arby's, and then you can have like Darkseid goes to Long John Silver's.
Sure.
Or just, I don't know. I mean, you want to pay me to write them, I'll do them.
Yeah.
I'll even draw them too. It's not going to be good.
Oh, I was going to say they can be super short.
Super short. Well, it's just the Metal Men walking into an Arby's being like, hey, how'd we get here? And then the next shot is them in a toilet. But one of them forms a toilet and the other one's shitting inside of it. They can turn shit inside each other.
And it's like DC Comics Presents.
DC Comics Presents Metal Men go to Arby's.
I would love to see all of those. We should do them.
All right. Yeah, that's good literature.
Yeah.
So anyways, on the cover it says Survival of the Fittest.
And this is from what year?
1984.
1984.
This isn't, so 1984. So we start out in New York City, and there's an incident going on. Looks like on a footbridge. You got...
this is weird. So it's like there's a guy who's holding a woman hostage. He's got a gun to her head, and he's like making a police officer cut through the chain link fence. And he's like, do it or I'm going to kill this woman. None of this matters, by the way. Let's just discuss this real quick. This whole setup is forgotten like instantly.
Well, just so we can introduce the Metal Men to something.
That's literally it. So he's like, come on, cop, cut through this thing. He does, and he's like, well, don't jump with the woman. He's like, you're right. And then he just like jumps off the side of a building.
Because he's like, haha, fuck this woman.
I really want to kill, like, I so want to commit suicide. I'm going to take someone hostage. instead of just bringing my own fucking wire cutters with me.
Yeah, it would be more
Like,
sense if you
wouldn't
just.
it's easier, right? Like, that's got to be cheaper than a gun.
Also, who's gonna question you with wire cutters?
I mean, you never know. You could get little ones. You could probably just like slip them in your pocket or something.
You could
Go up to the observation deck, slip them out, cut through, and jump. Instead, you're causing a humongous scene.
clearly, yeah,
And you just wanna
And
die
This
anyway.
poor cop is like, he's like one of them.
Yeah,
he's just,
and
he
there's
just happened
usually the one guy. It's probably a security guard.
Yeah, poor security guard's just like, well, what if he didn't have wire cutters? This guy had to probably have brought wire cutters and he's like, I can only make a cop do this. Because I want death by cop, but I don't want to be shot.
Right. So
How do I make this happen?
I'm going to have him open a gap in the fence. That's how.
Oh, my brothers.
Oh, my brothers?
Oh, my brothers.
Is that a thing now?
It is now.
All right.
Oh, my brothers.
Coined on this very podcast. Can't wait to meme it.
So thankfully, though, this Suicide McGee here jumps out the window or the fence.
And is caught by the metal men riding a giant gold saucer.
I guess it just happened to be flying by or something.
Yeah, they were, and we learn later, they're like on their way to like a charity.
Oh, that's
appearance.
right. Okay.
And they don't show up. So they catch this guy like Gold, and they do a bunch of shit, basically. Gold forms a net. Everybody's helped.
How is the gold net safe?
I don't know.
Because if it's like gold, like it's probably gonna be hard as hell.
Right? You know what? I try not to think too hard about that sort of thing. But
Right.
They catch this guy. They bring him up into the saucer, and they're like, "Man, we saved you. Aren't you happy?" And of course, Mercury's like, "I don't get humans. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you guys?"
And Mercury hates humans.
Fair enough, Mercury. He's basically like a proto-bender.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercury is pretty much Bender.
Except he's not drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy's like pissed that he got saved, so he starts like shooting at them.
Yeah, he starts unloading on these guys, and
And
they're
then
like,
as they're all like fighting, which I'm assuming they're still all in the saucer, the metal men get like transported to a cave. Now the guy doesn't go with them, so does that mean he just falls to his death from the saucer?
No, they're underground, I think.
Are they? I thought he pulled him back up into the saucer.
That's right. No, that's right. They're in the saucer.
Yeah, they're like halfway between the top of the building and the street. So when the metal men get pulled into the cave,
No, wait, because here they go. So here's the thing: we cut to the cave,
right?
and we cut to this
There
guy.
it is. They haven't been transported
Yeah,
yet.
and we cut to this doctor. I think Dr. Osborne, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Dr. Ass.
Ass.
And he's like, I'm looking for the metal men, and I need them for my experiments because I need their inner mechanisms or something to that effect. And he sees them, and then he just kind of plucks them out of the sky. So I'm assuming by this point they've dropped this dude off, this suicide guy off.
I'm just gonna assume he just falls to his death.
Or they just kills him. Yeah, they're just like, he's just like, what's going on?
He's like, I wanted to die, yay!
lead just sat on him or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, they just got plucked out of the sky, and the guy's like, I'm still up here, and he just falls.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to fly their ship.
Nope.
Because then we don't see them get disappeared, but that's what ends up happening.
And then, as that is happening, there is a hot air balloon over Metropolis, which is being piloted by a criminal who just stole something.
He's doing a hot air balloon heist. This is actually Marc Maron.
Oh, it is.
This is
Marc Maron and Glow.
Comedian Marc Maron from the TV show Netflix show Glow.
Yep, he looks exactly like him.
He's
wearing the same clothes.
just wearing a Robin mask. So just imagine the show Glow with Marc Maron wearing a Robin mask.
Yeah,
and that's basically what you got here. And he's like, "Ha! I use a hot air balloon. Nobody would ever expect that."
And of course, Superman's up there. And this is
you took a picture of this before.
I did. This is a classic example, textbook example of super dickery.
Oh yeah.
This is 100% super dickery because Superman sees him and he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna stop you. So how about I just deflate your hot air balloon using my heat vision?" And he's like, "Well, you can't let me die." He's like, "Well, you're not gonna kill me." He's like, "But I don't have to catch you," and he just lets this dude fall.
Well, so the guy's like, "Oh my God, you're gonna kill me," and Superman's like, "Me? Haven't you heard? I don't kill, but I play awfully rough."
Yeah. So Superman just lets him die. The guy's like, oh my God, he's going to let me die. He's going to let me die because he just lets him plummet. And then Superman's like, right before he stops, he's like, time to save him.
Yes.
Because I'm a fuckface.
Oh, he's a fuckface.
And he's like, but you saved me. And he's like, yup, hope you learned your lesson. You're going to jail. And the guy's like, yay.
It's like, yeah, but like you also are a murderous asshole. And I'm going to tell everybody. But nobody's going to believe me because everybody loves Superman.
Yeah. So then we're in this cave with the metal men, and they're like, what's going on? And they're like, I don't know. Last thing I remember is being in the saucer. And then this guy who kind of looks like Steve Buscemi with hair.
Steve Buscemi has hair.
No, but like a lot.
He was like a
more.
fat Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, but like with like a lot more hair and like a lot more weight. Kind of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. He looked like there's somebody else that that he reminded me of, and I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah, he looks very familiar.
But he's
this crazy doctor, and he's like, all right.
Otto Brisbane, that's his name.
He's like,
I want to call him Ozzy Osbourne for a second.
This is Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, so Ozzy Osbourne.
He's gonna do all sorts of experiments.
It's just him and Giselle like. Just him yelling like Ozzy does when he's in the concerts. Because basically, if you listen to any Ozzy concert, it's like, I love you all!
Yeah.
Crazy Trains! I love you all! Mama! Whatever he screams, you know. Sharon!
Yep. So he's like, well, here my experiments are in this weird cave. I'm going to put them in like different sets. I don't understand how this works.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, because it's in a giant cavern, so it's basically like a holodeck, right?
He's basically creating like a holodeck that is fully functioning with everything that has like all sorts of gimmicks built in. Yeah. This is some really intense technology.
And like the time he spent to build this thing and the money, you'd think that he would have solved the problem that he's trying to solve.
Well, okay, here's we'll come right out and say it. He is basically a doomsday prepper.
100%. And he's like, I know something terrible is going to happen to humanity, and I don't know if we can survive it. So I'm going to try to find, like, I'm using the metal men to see how we can make humans superior. Because so we can survive whatever crisis is coming. Basically, this guy was like, global climate change is coming. And everybody was like, you're a lunatic. Dude was right. We're not going to survive. Dude was right.
And later on, this guy went on to be Trump's science officer.
But this guy actually knows science. Look at all the shit he created.
Oh, that's true. This guy's too good for Trump. Yeah, he can't. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry. He won't be.
No,
he's
actually
fired.
Yeah.
Fired.
No, this guy's still hiding in a bunker somewhere.
He's definitely.
He has been since like 1983. He was just like
84.
84. He's like not coming out of that bunker. You know what? Wise decision.
Yeah, I know.
Smart.
Bunkers.
So he like sends them to an underwater land.
No. First, he sends them to.
Where is that?
Basically, to like a shit like fucking like RoboCop Detroit. And he's like
somewhere bombed out.
Yeah, somewhere bombed out. You know, and he's like, yo, let's
fight monsters.
Let's have you fight a bunch of monsters. So here's a bunch of booger here's a bunch of like animals that are also, they look like regular animals, but they're also monsters. Like you got like a rhino with hair. Yeah. And then you have like a bunch of like pterodactyls. You got like a spotted snake dog or whatever.
Yeah, so they basically just fight these guys, and here's
the thing: it's a simulation, but if for some reason
they can get hurt,
and so the metal men are using their powers. They're lead turns into a ball, and iron throws them at fucking Sauron from the Savage Land.
Yeah,
and then you have.
Mercury's like just glopping over stuff. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, Mercury, he's just like, all right, I'm just going to drown this hairy rhino.
Yeah, gold and platinum form like a net of some sort.
You got this one where it's actually kind of terrifying. Gold and platinum team up to do a bunch of like a net, like a thread thing, and they just kind of wrap up a bunch of these monsters. Mm-hmm. What was your plan? Because you can't keep them contained. Are you going to like just crush them to death?
I assume that's probably what they're going to do.
Oh, okay. And
because you're right. You're just like, now
we have be like, all right, now what do we do?
I have a net of monsters.
I have a net of monsters. That's my book about the 21st century.
That's gonna be
a net of monsters.
That's gonna be my new Twitter profile. A net of monsters. It's gonna be I have a net of monsters.
So and so then basically Ozzy Osbourne's like
sweet,
let's fuck some shit up more. But now we
cut to Clark Kent talking to some people who still work at the planet.
We talking about Jimmy. Oh no, Jimmy comes by.
I forget who he's talking to.
Who is he? Mustache boy.
I don't know who he's talking to.
He doesn't say.
But he's like, "Oh, we missed you since you left. You became a big TV star," which I think one of the weirdest choices. I mean, and this is saying something. One of the weirdest decisions in Superman history was to make him a TV reporter.
Yeah.
Because just what a news anchor, a highly recognizable news anchor.
You know what's interesting? What confuses about that is we always associate Superman as being a reporter.
Yes.
And so anytime this comes up, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Since when he was a news anchor?
He was a news anchor for a while.
Yeah, for like a long time. Like, shit, probably like 10, 15, it felt like, I mean, I'm saying at least 10 years.
At least. I feel like when I read these comics from this era and earlier, I feel like it's like 10 years.
Yeah. He was on the air for a long time.
It's weird because how do you, because when he's just a newspaper reporter, nobody knows who he is. You know what I mean? He's just Clark Kent. You know him by name. A lot of times those reporters don't have pictures by their names and stuff like that. But a news anchor, that's highly recognizable. So how do you start explaining the fact that this guy, A, looks a fuck ton like Superman, and over the past 10 years has not aged a day?
No, he hasn't. What are you using, Superman? Oil of Olay?
Pretty much. I use La Mer. I spend all that money on La Mer, and my face looks like this.
Nice.
So Jimmy comes by and he's like, hey, FYI, I just got this crazy tip that the Metalmen were supposed to be doing a charity appearance. And they didn't show up, and nobody knows where the hell they are.
I like that it's something where this is big news. It's like...
Well, Jimmy's all excited because he loves superheroes. He's like, I'm going to crack the case. And Superman's like, me too. He's like, huh. And this is...
Well, this is what Superman
does. This is, again, another example of super dickery because he's just like, huh, I don't know where they are. Guess they'll contact me if they need help. And he just goes back to work. The one time this guy actually just goes, you know what? I'm gonna hang back.
Yeah, I know. Instead of being a complete dip and jumping in, he's just like, weird.
Yeah.
Coffee. Delicious.
Better go type that story.
Better go find if they have any
Mars bars in the vending machine.
It's just him like, that's right. Ooh, Mars bars. Nougat.
I'm just like, Superman has the ability to literally fly around the Earth in seconds. He has X-ray vision.
Yeah.
So he can't quickly X-ray the planet in 30 seconds just to see if he can figure out where everybody is. Nope. Gonna wait.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just, I found that to be kind of strange. He's just
guess I'll just wait.
So, and so then the Metalmen, now this is when they go to the fucking ice tundra.
Yeah, so they get sent to the Arctic or wherever, and that's when some of them have problems because they freeze at certain temperatures.
Yeah, so mercury and tin start malfunctioning.
But also, I think this is ridiculous. I understand we're talking about their freezing points and their melting points, which we'll talk about later, but gold is not malleable at regular temperatures. Right? But gold himself is able to stretch and move and do all this sort of stuff.
because that's the part. Well, they're all able to do that.
But that's what I mean. So if they're able to do that, shouldn't they have transcended this thing?
You would think, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that would make sense because you're considering that if they're made out of a certain metal and they have those properties, but
right.
They transcend all these other limitations, then why is this not the case? You know?
If Platinum is able to make herself into as we see, a beehive of some sort without getting heated up to the point where she's malleable, then why does this freezing thing matter?
I don't know.
Whatever. I'm asking the wrong question.
You should never ask that question.
I'm thinking too hard.
So Ozzy Osbourne's back there and he's like,
oh man, those two suck.
Those two suck. Goodbye.
It's mercury and lead. Oh, tin. Mercury and tin.
And then they go, he's like, fuck them. And then, so now Superman sits back down to his computer.
Yeah. He's like, do.
Well, he sits down and he's like, blast, this computer always waits for me to sit down before it breaks down.
I mean, what do you think he's going to be doing? Is he going to go look at some porn? Is he? I mean, he's a news anchor. Is he writing a story?
He's going to look up the scores because he's on sport. Clark, you're on sports.
That's right. He might be on sports.
Perry might put him on sports.
Well, Perry's not his boss anymore because he's a news anchor.
Perry still comes in and occasionally just yells at him.
I think that's true.
Kent, you're on bridge report. By that, I mean the bridge club.
Mm-hmm.
Did you always remember that? I used to remember that in the paper. It used to show you like answers for bridge cards.
I vaguely remember that from when I was a kid. Like, they would have like a hand of cards.
Yeah.
And then you had to like solve a thing. It was like a puzzle.
Kent, you're on crosswords.
Yeah.
Crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
Kent, you're on obituaries.
So he starts seeing like a broadcast of the Metalmen through his computer.
I don't understand why this just happens to be the day. Is it the? Oh, I can never say the word. Deus Machina.
Deus es machina ex machina.
Am I using that right?
I don't know.
I never ever hear that term. I should know because I am a smart man.
Yeah.
But I never feel like I've ever used.
Probably Google.
I don't wanna. But basically, so basically it just happens
it just happens to be that like this is the cell reception that he picks up.
It's like,
Remember when you first had like a cordless phone and sometimes you could hear your neighbor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you would hear other people's conversations.
Yeah. I don't think that happens anymore, but back in the day, that happened quite frequently.
Yeah.
When people started getting cordless phones. Like you guys would be on the same frequency so you could start hearing your neighbor talk.
Yeah, that's what's happening here.
Yeah. So that's what's happening here, and that's when he's like, oh, this is a job for Superman.
Well, he determines they're in deep trouble. They're just standing there.
They really are. It's weird. I don't know how. This is when he's like, oh, I should x-ray vision stuff to try to find him. And I'm like, we could have done that a couple pages ago, but okay. I'm glad you finally came to this conclusion.
Yeah, so he decides to fly.
This is a lovely drawing of Superman, though.
Oh, this is him flying out here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's nice. It's a nice classic Superman pose. You know, he's got the leg tucked up. He's got the one hand up. He's flying over Metropolis.
So he uses, so this is something, okay, so because I didn't understand how he found them.
Doesn't he x-ray vision?
No, he says he traces the impulses back to their source.
Yeah, maybe he's got super pulsating powers.
Wait,
you know what? It's pre-crisis. He can do whatever.
Is it? No, you're right. This is pre-crisis.
It's pre-crisis. He has all sorts of weird fucking powers.
Is he just using his X-ray? I don't know.
He's using super pulse vision or super pulse location.
Sure.
He's just a giant vibrator.
Oh, nice.
Or he can like latch on to vibrations or something.
Oh, I hope he doesn't go by the sex store.
He's like, he always gets diverted to the adult toy stuff. He's like, damn it, this never works. And he has to leave.
Pandora's box? What am I doing here? I must turn around.
So he finds the Metalmen are now in a very hot place.
Yes.
And that's when who starts melting? Iron? No.
Lead.
Lead starts melting. And the guy's like, man, I've already like the doctor is like, man, I've already lost 2 Metalmen because they can't take the cold. And now I'm losing this idiot because of the heat. And that's when Superman busts through the cavern ceiling, but it doesn't like stop the simulation.
That's the thing. Why wouldn't it just stop the simulation? Because whatever, this guy's got set up in this cavern is probably like all over. Like there's probably all sorts of gimmicks and stuff. It's like this Truman Show.
Right.
And but Superman falls in. There just happens to be a red sun. So Superman is like,
it's me.
Yeah, I'm weak. And then,
he's like, oh no, it's a red sun, which it should just be an artificial red sun because this whole thing is fake. But it affects him and it takes his powers away and he can't help anybody. And everybody's like, quick, blow on lead to cool him down. He's like, I can't. Sorry, I'm completely useless.
Yeah, and this doctor's like, the Metalmen keep falling away. And then Superman.
He's like, even Superman's weak here. This is ridiculous. Is this where he gets his idea?
He decides to not follow through with humanoid species. So he needs to go on to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just he's basically just like, I had to create all these Armageddon things. And I do like this picture of him just kind of like wistfully staring up at the computer.
Yeah, like, God damn it.
He's like, God damn it. Just This is dumb. It's such a dumb premise. I'm sorry.
It's a little weird. So that's when he has his bright idea. He's like, oh, thank you, Superman and the Metal Men. I have a plan. And then he like transports them all into a jungle. Still a red sun. Superman can't do anything. And that's where we find Tin and Mercury are already there.
And to figure out that he's still not strong, Superman just punches a tree.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I suck. And they're like, well, don't worry about it, Superman. We'll save you. And like Iron starts like chopping trees down.
And fucking what's it?
Oh, because this is his idea. He's like, guys, this is just a humongous cavern. If we just go in a straight line, we'll eventually run into the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, well, makes sense.
True. Yes, you will, but you should have already broken this thing, but whatever. So they finally get to the wall.
I also like, what's her face? This is a lot of one of the instances where...
Tina's just trying to, like, fuck Superman.
Platinum is just
I'm sorry. Yeah, Tina, Platinum.
Yeah, Tina, she's just like, oh, you're such a dreamy hunk.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because there's no Dr. Magnus in this episode for some reason, or in this book for some reason. So
she's got to try to fuck somebody.
She got to try to be all horny. Well, she kind of hits on, like...
She hits on Iron a lot, or Gold a lot,
yeah.
too.
She's a weird character. Because I'm like, I understand that, you give them some sort of sentience, but she's like... I mean, well, they all have like, their own personalities.
Yeah, but she's just like horny all the time.
Yeah, she is. So they beat up these trees, and then...
They get to the wall.
They get to a wall.
And Superman's like, I'll punch it. However, he still has no power, so he basically breaks his hand.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we'll fix it. They turn into like a wrecking ball.
Metal Men, yeah.
Then as this is all happening, these giant cockroaches come out of nowhere.
So he break through a wall, and then all of a sudden a bunch of cockroaches turn into like man roaches.
Yeah, a huge man roaches, and the guy's like, yes, this is it. The roach has been unchanged for, basically since the dinosaurs. They will survive the coming apocalypse. Probably correct.
Oh, yeah.
As they've always said, at the end of the world, there will be cockroaches and Cher.
If I was Animal Man, I would just like
turn into a cockroach.
Always have cockroaches on me. So in the case
of pet.
No, just like in your like a pet, yeah, like a pet,
like a pet cockroach.
But so he has to keep one around him, and then just like
turn into them.
Use their ability to survive apocalypses.
I know, but then he's the only one.
Well, at least
and Cher. I mean, he could hang out with Cher.
He could hang out with Cher. Animal Man and Cher. Ooh, DC team up. DC Comics presents Animal Man and Cher.
Oh my god, I would so write that comic. I would write. After climate change has killed all of us, the only ones left are Animal Man and Cher, and then they have wacky adventures.
And Cher's hair looks like it does when she's in...
Oh, she has all the wigs. She has just like a suitcase full of wigs.
Just so Cher with a suitcase full of wigs yes. And Animal Man with his cockroach powers.
Yeah. And she basically looked like it's just like her in that new Mamma Mia movie. It was just like different hair all the time.
Oh, maybe Alan Man could wear a few wigs.
Yeah, she can absolutely wear.
And maybe Cher could learn how to be a dolphin or something.
Yeah.
She's hanging out with animal. Well, there's no.
When she figures out how to be a dolphin, she could like harness her voice as like the dolphin sonar power.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
We're really putting this. Ooh, Echo the Dolphin 3. Cher. Yeah. Cher the dolphin.
Cher the dolphin. Would watch. Would write actually.
Would watch. Would play the Sega Genesis adaptation. So but so basically these cockroaches are like, I like how these cockroaches like they're humanoid shaped, but they're also kind of like, come on, let's go battle. Like they're not monsters. Saying anything, but they seem to have like some sort of like, they're not just attacking.
Yeah. They
just seem to kind of be like, it's a few like this one's like pointing and the other one's like, come on, let's go fuck up Superman and these robots. And then these robots start, they basically Superman, and
they all start fighting them. And then Superman gets this idea that like, if somebody can break the red sun, he can have his powers.
Yeah.
So he's like, Platinum has the highest melting point. So like Iron like throws her like a javelin, basically into the red sun.
Well, okay, because he's like, Tina, with a boost, do you think you can reach that glowing sphere? And he's like, go throw yourself into that sun.
So she does. And the guy's like, no, she can't be doing that because he wanted to like nuke them or something, like the doctor.
Yeah, because everything's getting all fucked up, and he's like,
I'll just nuke everybody.
Oh, she sucks. She can't do that. She's one of those proven inferior, can't be getting the better of my ultimate survivors, because this guy's already determined that the cockroaches are it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to blow them all up, but it just happens that she breaks through the thing. Superman goes flying up there, and And she's trying to hit on him, and Superman's like, stop it.
Yeah, because she's like falling down, and Superman catches her, and she's like, I love you, you're so hot. And he's like, And he's like, okay, let's get out of here. So like, I don't know, iron forms a basket, I guess, and he lifts them out, and they go through the ceiling.
Just in time for a gigantic nuclear explosion in the caverns of New Mexico.
Oh, is that where they are?
Yeah, the whole time they're like, in the caverns of New Mexico, because they show like these like tourists and stuff like that, kind of like, they're in Carlsbad, New Mexico, or something.
Oh, okay.
And so but this guy lets off a fucking nuclear blast in Carlsbad, New Mexico, in the caverns, and then
I guess to kill the cockroaches.
Well, he wants to just kill. He wanted to kill metal men and all that,
right? But they also the cockroaches.
Yes,
because I thought they survived blasts. I don't know. Maybe they do.
Yeah, and so they, I guess. I mean, he just blew everything up.
Yeah, and then but they've already gotten through, and then this is really gross because Mercury like globs onto him, and it looks like he's like melting him,
basically.
But I know he's not. It just, they have like steam coming up behind him. It's just weird.
Yeah. So they smash up his machines, and they're like,
don't you realize that by getting behind the cockroaches, humanity is doomed? And he's like, oh yeah, you're right, Superman.
Oh, I didn't get. It's like Beavis Butt. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how it just ends.
And he's like, I hadn't thought of that. Then that's it.
Yeah, Mercury's
and Superman's like, I don't know what catastrophe you're planning for, because there's nothing wrong with our planet. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing bad could ever happen to the
Superman,
Earth.
let me turn on Infowars.fart. I kind of wish this guy was Alex Jones, actually.
I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he's just... Maybe this is what happens. Like, after this experience, he just, like, really started getting very angry and red every time he screamed, and then he rips his own shirt off constantly and just screams into the fucking camera.
I can't...
And posts it on Facebook, and then gets mad when they ban him for fucking idiocy.
Every time I see the pictures of him or whatever,
there's
ripping his own shirt.
There's a great screen cap right now on, like, Gizmodo or something where he is just... He looks like a man whose head is literally about to explode.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, so Infowars.fart.booger starts here.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that Infowars.fuck that guy. That's a domain we should get that domain.
That's a domain name.
Yeah, so they stopped that. Superman saves the day, and that's how this ends.
Yeah. Well, it ends with Mercury being like, I never understand humans.
Oh, he surely...
You know what? Accurate.
Here's a crossover. Mercury from the Metal Men and Alex Jones.
Oh, no. I don't want to watch that at all. Would not watch.
No, top 5 worst DC crossovers ever.
Yeah, no thank you.
So that's it for Superman and the Metal Men and DC Comics Presents number 70 from June 1984. Would you want to read the next one of these?
Oh, yeah. These are fun.
Oh, yeah. We have pretty much almost all of them.
Yeah.
Also want to give a shout out to, if you're looking for more DC Comics Presents, you should definitely check out the DC Comics Presents show with our good friend Russell Bragg.
Yep.
He is probably has read this book.
Oh, yes.
And has talked about it, and it's a show that I've guested on in the past as well. So you should definitely take a moment to check that out. It's definitely it's a fun show. You can find that on all your Apple Podcasts and wherever it is that you get your podcasts. So, but that's it for this week's show. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? Or I think we're good.
No, I think we're good. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. Find us on Facebook at Worst Collection Ever, or email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And of course, follow us wherever you can. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Please rate and review, subscribe, and that would be really dope if you guys left us some reviews. We would appreciate that. So thanks again for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.